Video is divided into three parts. The first part, I'll talk about the origin of Arabic number. The second part will talk about the secret power of 9. And the last part will talk about how to prove your answers using 9. Now, let's go to the first one. Now, the origin of Arabic numbers, these numbers 0 to 9. Many scholars believe that Arabic numbers originated from India between 6th and 7th century and were then brought to Europe by many mathematicians like Al-Khwarizmi. Were you taught in school that numbers start from 1 to 10? Ignore that for the purpose of this class because the numbers were designed actually to start from 0 to 9. Example is if you take a number like 10, it's actually made of two digits, that is 1 and 0. Let's see how the numbers were generated according to one theory, which says that numbers 0 to 9 were actually developed based on the angle on each number. So let's have a look at the numbers that I have here that you can see on the screen. Yeah. Now let's go to the first digit, which is 0. 0, because of its form, this as a figure, it didn't have any angle, and therefore the value representation became 0, like nothing. And then this figure here, which we call today 1, had one angle, and therefore it had a value presentation of 1. This figure here, which looks like a Z, and what we would call today 2, had two angles, and because of that, he had a value representation of 2. 3 had this angle, second, third angle, and had then a value representation of 3. And 4 had this angle here, another angle, and the fourth one, and therefore had the value representation of 4. 5, on the other hand, written like this as a figure, had this angle, second angle, third, fourth, and fifth, giving it a value representation of 5. 6, on the other hand, had an angle here, the way it was written, this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. So all in total had 6 angles, giving it a value representation of 6. 7, written different. Sometimes they would write it down here, and then the two angles are gotten from here. But in this case, this we will use this example, and we take this angle here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And when you use all those ones, because of the 7 angles that are produced from this figure, it got a value representation of 7. Could be 7 items and so far. And then we have 8, which had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and therefore had a value representation of 8. And 9, having this angle here, second angle, third angle, fourth angle, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth, therefore gave 9 a value representation of 9. I hope you liked it. In the next chapter, we are going to talk about the secret power of number 9. Now, did you know that every number higher than 9 adds down to 9? Most of the maths that we do is base 10. Our system uses 10 digits, that is 0 to 9, and not actually 1 to 10, as 10 is actually made up of 1 and 0. So to prove that, and to prove the power of 9, that every number higher than 9 adds down to 9, I chose a couple of numbers, and I wanted to prove that one. Now, let's go to the first one, which is made up of 1 and 0. So let's go say 1 plus 0 gives you 1. If you take 1 and subtract it from 10, you get 9. Interesting. Yeah, that is terrific. I also find it the same. Now, let's go to the next number, which is 49. So 49 is actually made of only 4 and 9. Now, if you add 4 and 9, gives you 13. If you take 13, subtract it away from 49, it gives you 3, 6. If you take 3 plus 6, it gives you 9. Comes back to 9, yeah? Let's take a bigger number, 729. 729 is just made up of 7, 2, and 9, which gives you actually, if you add them, gives you 18. Now, if you take 18, subtract it from 729, it gives you 7, 11. Now, if you add 7 plus 1 plus 1, you get an answer 9. Crazy, yeah? I love it. It's like really crazy. Now, let's go to another one, 160. Now, if you take 160, it's just a matter of like, it's made of 1, 6, and 0. So add them up. So 1 plus 6 plus 0 gives you 7. Now, take 160, take 7 and subtract it from 160, you get 153. Now, with 153, you want to add 1 plus 5 plus 3, you'll get 9. Now, let's go to the last example. Last example is 800. 800 is made up of 8, 0, and 0. Now, add 8 plus 0 plus 0 gives you 8. Subtract 8 from 800, it gives you 792. 792, if you add 7 plus 9 plus 2, it gives you 18. If you go further and say, hey, how about 8 plus 9? 8 plus 1, it gives you 9. Yeah, funny. I find it really powerful. The last session, I want to talk about how to use 9 to prove the answers that you have. So let's go on. Now, if you take 1 plus 1, if you remember the day when you went to school, you were introduced to 1 plus 1 and you said it's 2, and that was it. You never asked like why. Now, today I want to bring this to your attention. Because of the power of 9, you can now clarify that. So let's say that 1 plus 1 equals 2. That's what you're told to say. But what if I say that 1 plus 1 is 11? It's also true, because if you want to prove that, any number that's above 9 adds down to 9. So that means if we have 9 as our base, if we subtract 9 from 11, it will give you 2. Yeah, so therefore you will have 2 as an example, as an answer for 1 plus 1. Let's go to 7 plus 7. So normal situation will say that is 14. But if I say it's 77, it's also right. Because if I know the power of 9, I can as well subtract the 2, and it will add down to 9. So let's say 14 minus 77, and of course I will get 63. Now when I get 63, if I add 6 plus 3, I'll get 9, proving that 14 actually is the right answer. The thing is, if someone tells you that the answer here is 13, it is wrong, because if you subtract, then you will get 64. 64, and 6 plus 4 doesn't give you 9. So 13 is wrong here. If someone says, let's say 12, it's also not true, because this one is going to be 65, and it will not, and if it's 65, it's not going to give you 9. So that means that answer is wrong. So 14 remains the right answer. Now let's go here. 9 plus 9 is 18. But I could as well say, if I'm teaching a child, I will still talk about 99. And if they say so, it's 99 because it's 9 and 9. It's true. I don't have a problem with that. 9 plus 9 should be 99. Why not? As long as the kids know the power of 9, because then if you subtract the 2, if you take 18, subtract it from 99, you remain with 81. Now, you go down and say 81 plus 1, 8 plus 1 gives you 9. And therefore, the power of 9 that you can use to then clarify or check your answer. How about if someone said that 9 plus 9 is 17? Because if you do the calculation, it will give you here, if you subtract it, you will get here 82. And 82, 8 plus 2 is not equals to, it doesn't equal to 9. So therefore, this one rather equals to 10. So that means this is then wrong. Yeah. So that was it for today. Thank you so much for your time. And if I added value to your knowledge, please like, subscribe, and visit my website to learn more. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.